Hi, friends. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Katie, and welcome to Okay, But Did You Know? A podcast where we talk about the TV and media that we love with a friend who's never seen it before.
Today we're recapping and chatting about Once Upon a Time, episode 316. That's the wrong order.
Wait, we're in season 3?
I wish. 316 is a great episode. 316 and 613 are vastly different.
Right?
That's staying in. Today we're recapping and chatting about Once Upon a Time, episode 613, Ill Boding Patterns, which I think I actually did put in our spreadsheet wrong. It's ill boding, not ill body.
I was so confused for a minute. I was like,
yeah,
what's
that
happening?
was on me. That was a typo. Typos happen, man.
I didn't realize it was the word ill at first either. And I was like, 3 body, what? What is happening?
Yeah. This episode aired on March 19th, 2017. It was written by Andrew Chambliss and Dana Horgan and was directed by Ron Underwood. Now, before we get into our recapping and chatting, let's go over a synopsis for Ill Boding Patterns. In the Enchanted Forest, the first ogre's war rages on, and while Beowulf claims he can lead the human army to victory with his enchanted sword, it doesn't work. All is lost until the Dark One shows up and destroys all the ogres. While the town lauds him as a hero, Beowulf is not convinced. Later, when the villagers go to Rumpel for help with a monster, Grendel, that has defeated all their attempts to bring it down, Bay convinces Rumpel he can do it and help without his magic, even taking the dagger as insurance. But when they get to the cave, they discover it wasn't a real monster, but Beowulf waiting to set Rumpel up. Bay tries to stop him, but when Beowulf threatens to tell everyone Rumpel was killing everyone, Bay commands Rumpel to kill him. Not wanting his son to succumb to the darkness like he did, he wipes Bay's memory of the event as if it never happened at all. And in Storybrooke, Gideon is determined to get the sword back to complete his destiny. Gold captures him and brings him to the clock tower with plans to wipe his memory of his time with the Black Fairy and ease him of his pain. But he's one step ahead and gets a hold of the dagger so that he can continue his plan without interference. What he needs to fix the sword is the blood of the person who forged it, Blue. Gold ultimately darkens his heart further to keep Gideon from going down the wrong path, even in the name of good. Meanwhile, Killian is still reeling over his secret about killing David's father and decides he needs to come clean to Emma. When he goes home to tell her, she reveals she found the ring in his chest, and instead of talking to her, he proposes. Robin is still trying to leave Storybrooke and enlists Zelena to help to create a potion that could undo the protection spell on the town line. But it doesn't work. However, when the magic blasts him back, some of the potion stuck to him, and with it, the evil queen is able to free herself from her snake prison. And now, she can have some fun. You all did not hear what a feat getting through that synopsis was.
But you did it.
It was written just fine. Like I think it's just I think it's just my brain right now is not at full capacity because of the heat and the humidity.
Yeah, no, it's been a week, day, month,
lifetime.
Yeah. So Beowulf.
Yeah. I honestly I forgot about this entirely, and it makes
for good reason.
For good reason. We're going into again more. They're dropping in those classic literature characters and saying you can't get more classic than Beowulf.
I mean, you can't, but I'm just literally like, God, not Beowulf.
Because they've already done Greek mythology. They can't go much further back in time.
Do you remember that like iteration of Beowulf that they did that had like Angelina Jolie in it?
I never actually watched it, but I do remember what you're talking about. Yes, was that the Uncanny Valley thing that they were doing?
I'm not sure.
Was it animated?
It was animated, yeah. My dad really liked it and bought it and like would make us watch it, and I'm just sitting there like, I hate this.
My only real memory of Beowulf, I think, is reading it in one of my college classes.
It's a story. Not one of my favorites, I don't think.
I think I saved a link to like the wiki page about Beowulf.
Yeah.
So I'll add it for the show notes because it's if you weren't forced to read it in college or high school or some form of education and you're interested in the source material, it's there for you in the show notes. However, I don't remember much of it, and I don't feel like synopsizing it.
Let's
choose joy.
I had to read it in high school, but I'm like, oh, cool, Beowulf. But like, that's about where the extent of that goes.
Yeah. I want to say, for me, it was probably my British literature class. That sounds right.
It was my Brit Lit class as well. Because it was that and then Canterbury Tales. And my God, I could go a lifetime with not having to deal with Canterbury Tales again.
That professor was the one that he had a couple of different options for extra credit. And one of them was if you wanted to, and like he gave us the whole like how to do it. But if you wanted to go to his office during office hours and recite like the opening bit of it in like the version of English that like would have been like the original, like I guess like Middle English, whatever it was, you got extra credit for that. I don't think most people did that because you had the option. You could do that or you could do another one. I chose the other one, unsurprisingly, which was when we got to Shakespeare and you could recite
Yeah.
us. You could go to his office and recite a sonnet, and you got extra credit.
Oh god, that's easy.
I did that one. I did sonnet 130, and I have had that memorized solely because of the Catherine Tate, David Tennant Red Nose Day sketch.
I'm here for it.
I sent it to him afterwards, and he went, "Yep, this makes sense."
So Rumple is still a coward,
Yeah,
just with
that doesn't
power.
change.
Like that never changes. Rumple
Yeah.
is forever will be a coward. But I do like this version of Robin.
Mm-hmm.
He's fun. I like this Robin.
Doppel Robin's more interesting.
Very interesting. I like that they're also going the route of like, yes, she is in love with a version of him, but that's obviously this isn't the same version. This is a different man,
Mm-hmm. Because he
and I
has,
do appreciate that.
yeah, because he's got different experiences. Obviously, this is the one without Marion. So he doesn't really have, he never grew that moral compass that both aggravated her and she was attracted to back in season 3. Because like he was an honorable thief, so he's doing bad things, but he's doing them for the right reasons.
Yeah.
This one's just a thief. This one would have been an easier, I mean, which we'll see. This one would have been an easier love interest for earlier Regina,
Mm-hmm.
but original Robin was a better fit for the path she was on.
I have to agree.
So
I like how we're like it's not horrible. We're moving forward at a slow pace and all that. But I'm like, I want to see more of the Black Fairy. It's always talking about the Black Fairy and everything else. So I'm just like, when do we see more of her? Like
she'll
we're
come
like
back.
halfway through this season. We've been back and forth with evil Regina, the evil queen, and now we got all this Black Fairy stuff. And I just feel like we're in limbo.
Well, because this is like it's building up of the Black Fairy's storyline while the Evil Queen is still unresolved.
Yeah.
Like even though like it's not really a false ending because I think we all kind of got the sense that even when we first watched it that her being turned into a snake was not the end of her story. That's a
No.
very anticlimactic ending if it was. And like the writers make dumb choices sometimes. That's not a dumb choice. Like
Okay.
they're not that dumb. So so like we're building the Black Fairy while that's still looming, and like next week is page 23. Yeah. I was forgetting if it's 23 or 24. It's page 23. So next week is the culmination of the Evil Queen story now that we brought her back from her snake prison. So we're gonna see how that story ends, and then we can move forward full force into the Black Fairy. Kind of like what I hearken this back to. It's very similar to the setup of season 2, where
Yeah.
we had one person set up for a while being Cora. There was a little bit of a dip while we introduced Greg. And then, so he's kind of there. We're building that up. Cora is also kind of there. Eventually, her story comes to a head into 16. That gets done, leaving the rest of the season for Greg. That's kind of what we're doing here with the Evil Queen and the Black Fairy.
Okay. And once again, I was bored. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see what happens with Gideon. It's not that it wasn't like intriguing or anything. But like we're just continually, of course, seeing how much of a coward Rumple is. And I don't know, I just once again I was bored.
I mean, that's fair. I honestly, I don't have anything to make it better in this episode, other than next week is double Regina again. We get a lot of Evil Queen
I'll
next
take
episode.
that. I'll take that.
And then the Black Fairy comes in. Does she come in? She's not in 615, I don't think. Because 616 is Mother's Little Helper? Yeah. So yeah, A Wondrous Place is going to be like other stuff going on. And yeah, and then once we have Mother's Little Helper, it's Black Fairy through the end of the season.
And of course the moment of like Faye really just had his dad kill somebody. Like
Uh-huh.
that actually was unexpected, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just based off of Faye's character, like I think through the show itself. Obviously then we see that, the reason Faye is still so innocent, I would say, through some of this was because the memory, reversal and everything, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever you would call that. But still, at the same time, I'm like, that was an interesting route to go with that. Because, like, would his heart still be darkened, even if he doesn't remember it?
That's exactly my question is removing the memory does not remove the act.
No, it doesn't.
So
It
he
just
would still
remembered,
have
like,
inklings, and Bay really doesn't.
yeah. So that was curious about that. Like, that was interesting. Um, and the very anticlimactic of, okay, yay, they're engaged. Like, I didn't feel much in that. Like, I know he's lying to her, or not even lying to her. Is it still lying if it's omission?
I mean, I will agree with Archie, although this is bad advice, but I will agree with Archie that the fact that he wants to tell her is enough.
Yeah.
However, I do still think you should tell her. Like, I think it's bad advice from a therapist to keep a secret to yourself.
I guess I'm curious, like, okay, maybe it's just the trauma speaking from myself, but
Hmm.
she never knew her grandfather.
Correct?
Like, she didn't know the guy.
No.
So, how much does it truly matter that Hook, the past version of Hook, who he isn't anymore, did that? Because he did a lot of, interesting things before
Yeah, I
Emma.
think there's an argument to be had that when it comes to how much this matters to Emma and how much this matters to the Charmings are two different things.
Okay.
Because I can see from Emma's perspective of, yeah, this is a man I never met, and you were a completely different person back then. However, this is going to matter a lot to David, and that's going to have some sway. Like, she's her own person; she can do what she wants. But I can
I guess
see
it's
the
harder.
I can see the fear, especially because he just got David's blessing, and they're
I can
finally in a good
see.
place. But
I don't know. Maybe I'm too forgiving. I'm not forgiving, but I am. But like, I feel like once again, he was a different person.
he
He's
was.
not the Hook we know now. And I do believe in like the whole thing of like you can better yourself and do be a better version of yourself. Cause like if especially with people like Regina, where you're constantly having to work against your old self,
Hmm.
your old thoughts, your old feelings, your old everything. Constantly working against those, I think makes you a better person. If you're constantly having to work against that and still choosing the better option, then you've bettered yourself. And so like while it's still fucked up the things you did in the past, like I feel like they can be forgiven if you're actively trying to do better on a daily basis. I don't know if Dave, like obviously that's dad, so David's not gonna immediately see it that way, but like that's kind of how I see that working.
No, I agree. And I think it's also important that they're showing the same conflict in two different ways. They're showing fighting against your darker endeavors, your older versions of yourself, both very physically with Regina and the Queen, and Killian more internally. We're seeing the
Hmm.
same conflict as external and internal conflict, which I think is actually a really interesting way of going about it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I can't say much more about their engagement. There is more to be seen. Obviously, they do get married. I haven't kept that a secret, but
No.
this proposal is not the be all end all of their engagement, is all I'm going to say.
It's interesting because, like, I feel like I know they've shown a lot of their relationship in the way that it's grown and
Hmm.
all of that, but their relationship has felt kind of stagnant.
They basically, I mean, they have, because their relationship is also is almost entirely set, I would say, by Emma's growth. And like I've said, Emma goes from not a lot of growth to walls wide fucking open because they wanted to rush her character development for the end of this season.
But I don't feel like they should have rushed it this quickly. They still could have done it slowly. You have all these episodes to work with. Why rush that? Like this is why we don't judge pacing.
Yeah, well, yeah, we don't. Okay, here's the thing. So we don't judge pacing now. I used to judge the fuck out of the pacing in my old version, but well, because also it's all very fast, and it always, even though if it feels like it's well paced, because at the end of the day, the timeline of the show is not, reality, like the airing of
Hmm.
everything. Like Henry here is 13, going on 14, so like they've been together maybe a year.
Already engaged?
I mean, insert the gif from Frozen of "It's true love," like, because like once you figure that's out, that's they're done. That's the character development of the relationship, is it's true love. That's all you need. Because I will they
Mhm.
one thing the show is very good with writing these very compelling characters, as we talked about with the very compelling side characters people latch onto very quickly. Their relationships in the show are kind of lackluster, like the canon
Yeah.
ones. Like what I love about shipping on this show is almost entirely the fan fiction. Because
I will say
the characters are so interesting.
I really enjoy, I think out of all of their relationship is specifically Regina and Robin's.
Mm-hmm.
Theirs felt more real. But I
But
feel like
we never saw much of it.
I know, but I don't know, it just felt more real. But then, of course, like the challenges that came with it, I think.
Yeah. Because like
for, you know, the Charmings, the challenge was Regina.
Yeah. And being apart. And then they were cursed and he was married, kind of. Which, like, so it's very, like their relationship, their struggles were very soap opera-y.
Exactly.
I mean, not to say Regina's wasn't.
Regina's definitely. Oh, hold on a second.
His dead wife came back from the past,
who was actually her sister, who then got herself impregnated,
and her mother killed her true love and made her become the queen. Okay, so all right.
I was about to say
But then, okay, so compare all of that to Captain Swan. They have not had much soap opera shit to go through.
No. This is the most soap opera we're getting with the whole, hi, I killed your grandfather and your dad has no idea.
That's basically it. This is the one time for them to have a very soap opera-y kind of moment.
Apart from you're stuck in hell and I have to somehow get you out.
That's just fairy tale goodness.
Exactly. My last note, though, really just is that, Robin really took the evil queen. LOL. Here we go. But that was it. I'm sorry. I wanted to get that out there. I'm like, I have a lot written down.
No, it's okay. Neither do I, honestly. But, well, because like I think, I don't know if I said this or you said something and I very specifically stayed silent. It's probably both.
Always.
I think I'm going to bring up two different instances because when it was Wish You Were Here, and I said, David's wish was that the evil queen get exactly what she deserved. And that's when I think Robin showed up in the Wish Realm.
Yeah.
And you're like, yes, let her be happy. And I think I just stayed very silent there. Because at first, obviously, we think it's the evil queen getting turned into a snake. There's a version of Outlaw Queen out there somewhere. That's basically the conclusion these characters come to.
Oh.
Like, like I said, he's a much better fit for an earlier version of Regina, and the evil queen, to an extent, will become that.
Okay.
I can't. Nothing else is going to make sense. You have to watch. Next week's episode is actually very beautiful.
Thank fuck.
Like,
no offense.
I kind of
like we came back from a month-long break and 2 episodes in a row. I'm like,
I can make you happy about next week. Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell.
Very briefly. Very, very briefly.
Damn. I love Rose. Okay,
I know you do.
I literally everyone here knows. Like, I got Tinkerbell on this and immediately watched the entirety of iZombie as fast as possible because it was leaving Netflix.
Yep.
And I still can't find it now.
Yeah, very, very briefly. But like next week episode, we have 2 very lackluster episodes, and this is gonna be a case of I can't wait to go over scores later because this score is real fucking low. I'm not gonna hide that.
Is mine low enough? God.
We'll find out. Next week's probably gonna be a 30. So, is this my lowest score so far? We'll find out. We're not doing scores too early.
Yeah. No.
We can't do that
sometimes
yet.
I feel like I don't rate things low enough because I feel bad. I'm like, I don't want to do it too low. And then I feel bad.
I have done that. This is my lowest score.
Okay.
So.
I was about to say, the maniacal laughter has begun. Here we go. We're only 20 minutes into the episode. Lauren is maniacally laughing about her score.
I was so upset. I was so mad at this episode.
I was bored.
It's a boring episode, but I have a very specific thing of did we really write this? Before we get into what the maniacal laughter is for, I do have some fun facts.
Let's actually talk a little bit about the episode.
Yeah, I do have other thoughts before we get to that. So I think obviously the only topic I come up with for our episode was this episode's a whole lot of why.
Uh-huh.
That's all I had. But
I love Zelina getting into some shit though.
Yeah, Zelina, she's having fun. I think I have some of her lines written down. So the title from this episode, Ill Boding Patterns, is the actual title of the episode. Comes from a very specific translation of Beowulf that reads, "The iron blade with its ill boding patterns has been tempered in blood." So
pretty badass line. While Beowulf is not my favorite, that is a good line.
we got a lot of like a lot of episode titles coming from the literature they're referencing.
I think that's a really smart way of doing that.
It's smarter than just using Pink Floyd's song lyrics a lot.
I mean, I like Pink
I
Floyd.
don't mind it, but like
I like Pink Floyd.
they use Pink Floyd and Bruce Springsteen a lot.
I could do without that much Bruce
Yeah.
Springsteen, I think.
Like I said, obviously, this episode has many references to Beowulf, one of the oldest epic poems. I will include the wiki link for you to read up on that if you so choose. Can't stop you. When the soldiers are fighting the ogres, when they send, I heard it. I'm glad I found this before I watched it. When the ogres send one of the soldiers flying, there's a Wilhelm scream in there.
There is a Wilhelm scream.
It's amazing. It's so it's one of those things like you hear it and you can never unhear it.
It's fun though, but because when you know about it, because like my partner and I do this, like every time we watch anything, we're always like keeping an ear out. And then if it happens, it's that stupid like Leonardo DiCaprio meme or whatever. We're like, Wilhelm scream, Wilhelm scream.
Well, so I didn't know because I hadn't seen any bootlegs before I saw it. But when I saw Death Becomes Her on stage last year, for those who, I mean, I was gonna say spoilers, but this is Death Becomes Her is like a 35-year-old movie.
Yeah.
When Ernest gets knocked down and falls off the building, for the stage production, when he falls into the pit, they play a Wilhelm scream.
And
I was just like, when I saw that, I was the only one in my section that laughed, and I'm like, what? It's fucking funny. I like barked out a laugh at that because it was so unexpected but so delightful.
I wish more people picked up on it.
I'll put a link, I guess, to a wiki about the Wilhelm scream in this, since we're talking about that specifically.
Well, because like it's widely used in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like you can watch any of Star Wars and you're going to hear a Wilhelm scream.
As the stormtrooper's armor is just worth nothing because it's basically.
I remember plastic. Because then you also have the one where like the sand thingy and they're like trying to not die and someone gets like thrown down towards the thing.
Oh, the Sarlacc?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, like there's Wilhelm scream during that. There's so many.
Oh yeah.
Oh, George Lucas.
So this was one case where the international titles, again, were all a little different. So I thought it was interesting to grab all of them. For French, we had The Ogre's War.
Oh.
German was See, the Evil is So Close.
What the fuck?
Italian was just Sons, like SONS. And Portuguese was Foreboding Patterns. That was the closest one. I don't know.
No one can see my face. I'm sorry.
Yeah, your face is loud, but not that loud.
No, my face is loud. I get that a lot, actually. Yeah. I've had people tell me, you need to quiet your face. I'm like, no, I don't know how.
Like that trend of people like someone says something stupid and like the one coworker puts like a smiley face over like the other person's face. That's you.
I need the smiley face taped to my face because I will look at you like you have 3 heads if you say something stupid to me. Well, and I work in F&B.
Well, that could be the two of us. Someone comes up like, well, isn't Rumpelstiltskin Regina's father? And then you just put the smiley face like over my head because I can't and be like, what the fuck are you fucking stupid?
Oh my God.
So according to the label, the bottle that Hook was drinking from in Granny's, it is Hector's distilled and hand-blended river rum from Oracabesa, Jamaica. I'm assuming that was a lot of people that work on the show is for them came up with those things. I'm just taking a guess. That's because it's not real. It's not real rum. Obviously, the gold, obviously the ropes that Mr. Gold uses to tie Gideon up are gold, as well as the top of his thermos is gold as well. The red jacket, which we don't because she's wearing the camel like peacoat most of the time, but the red jacket she's wearing underneath it is actually a repeat from season 2. Which I mean, not that it really connects to my whole thing about the pacing of season 2, but I like that they're reusing those same costumes.
Yeah,
because she previously was wearing it in The Outsider, In the Name of the Brother, and then we saw it again in the finale in And Straight Until Morning. Because at first I thought they were talking about the peacoat, and I was like, oh, maybe this meant that it was a black one. Because I remember like a similar black peacoat, and then we saw the scene in the vault. I went, oh, that's the jacket they were talking about. Mm-hmm. Like it's sad that's all that it took was me seeing that jacket.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. And the Evil Queen's appearance has changed slightly since she was turned into a snake. She's not exactly the same. She's wearing the same costume, However, her earrings are different, her hair is a little different, and they added a scarf because they were filming outside.
Fair.
So I will say the captions really spoiled the reveal of him being Beowulf.
It did, like,
Like,
immediately.
I get it, but like maybe we just put in like, soldier until his name comes up. Like that's captioning is an art form. Because I
I've
get that,
learned
like,
that.
I understand that like there's the desire to just put all the information there, it's accessible, but like you do like for the people that can't hear that are using captions not because we want to eat crunchy things or we have some kind of auditory processing, but people that actually can't hear deserve the same level of reveal as other people.
And, like, other projects have done that. I've watched
Yeah.
other things where they'll just put in, like, strange woman, this or, like, something
Sometimes
that
Once
was
Upon a
like
Time does that.
yeah, they didn't for this one. I'm like, "Why not hide that he's Beowulf at first? Like, let that be a reveal."
Yeah. So we've learned captioning is an art form.
Disney's not the best at it.
So at first I was confused because I honestly thought that at some point it was confirmed that the ogre war that Rumpel was in and the one that Bay was conscripted to, I thought they were different wars, but actually this is just the same one that's been going on for over a decade, for like 14 years. Because they confirmed this is the same war that Rumpel fought in, or almost fought in. I wrote down, I'm like, oh, it's the first Ogre's War. Unless I'm mistaken, the war literally kept going for decades. Rumpel is the Dark One during the second, but maybe it's the same one from when Rumpel was conscripted. Either way, I hate it. And then later on, I was like, oh, okay.
Like, just do some negotiations,
Yeah,
guys. I guess you can't negotiate with an ogre.
true. You cannot. It's like origin of the blade. It belonged to Beowulf, enchanted by light magic. So why does Gideon think it'll let him do dark deeds?
Because he doesn't believe what he's doing is a dark deed. Because he's trying to defeat the Black
For
Fairy.
good. And I get that, but at the same time, still killing somebody. He's like,
Hmm.
he's still terrible.
Yeah.
And like, obviously,
Like,
yeah, he's
there's just not many likable qualities.
no, because like he's so like for him being like he has lived 28 years. He has the emotional. I mean, this is what happens when you're kept captive by the Black Fairy for 28 years. But like he has the emotional depth, I think, would say of Henry. Like in season 2,
And intelligence.
I say in season 2, yeah, like the emotional depth and
Yeah.
intelligence of like a 12-year-old. So
Ladies, don't date this one. The divorce came from nowhere.
no clue what happened there.
No,
But,
I'm sorry.
but obviously,
I'm just thinking of someone having to be with Gideon with this like it's more sitcom-y in my
yeah,
head.
no,
I'm
it's
sorry.
fair. But so obviously we had a different actor playing Bay because I'm pretty sure at this point the original actor is like is like Henry's age. So he's like 17, 18 at that point. So he's a little too old. I thought
Yeah.
I heard a little bit of a lilt in his accent, but I couldn't figure out if he's from the US or not. I was like, and he's down. So ineffective. I'm assuming that was Gideon. I have no idea, honestly. We have Zelina having some of the best lines, and this little munchkin never lived to see the light of day again.
I love
And
her.
sorry, Grand Theft Sorcery isn't my thing. Like it's just they don't give her much, but what they give her is very, very memorable.
Oh yeah.
And like you were saying,
She's one of the most memorable parts of this freaking episode.
and like you were saying before, like this goes against a lot of Neil's character development because obviously Bay, like it's the fact of that they even thought to put this in at all of Bay
It
using the
made
dagger,
no sense.
like because what we've seen of Bay at every stage of the Dark One before he had it, in the Return of the Stranger, those episodes, he's never wanted to ever. And here's the thing, okay, he's never wanted to use it, and when August is pretending to be Bay, the one thing that makes, I mean, besides the fact he looks nothing like him, but Rumpel says like, my son would never use this against me. Like they're going like this is a continuity error of all continuities. I don't care if he doesn't remember it. The darkness would still be there, but my son would never do this. You don't say that out of nowhere if the kid's done it before. And exactly. I'm aware, season 1, season 6, different. I mean, it's the same. Andrew Chambliss has been around since the beginning. He knows his own show. But we can't blame this on writers that joined midway through. He's been here the whole time. But it's just not good. Followed by something equally not good of Deus Ex, he's too powerful to be fooled. Did you think a memory potion would work on me? I was raised by the Black Fairy. What does that even fucking mean? How does him being in her proximity make him immune to a memory potion?
I have no idea.
It's giving like the thing from, was it The Princess Bride, where like he took microdoses to like build up an immunity to this poison. Like, did she make him do that? Like, I don't.
Well, I do that all the time. It's called, packing a bowl. Yeah. I lose my memory for a little while with that one. I'm just saying, because then I forget where I put my bowl,
and that is a problem.
Yeah. So is it like that?
Maybe, but it's just like, what does that have to do with anything? Why does that magically make him immune to memory potions? I don't like it. And like, I get he's supposed to kind of be this serious anti-savior character since they couldn't do that with Lily, but he's just so overpowered in a way that makes no sense. It's not even like it's not even funny. Like we could play it in a way where it's funny. He's just so overpowered that it makes everything like, because we know that at some point he's going to fight her. Like, we know that that's going to happen again. So like, there's only so much you can do besides just like, all their efforts are just to delay that. They can't do anything to beat him. Yeah. So they created a very overpowered character who's not even really the villain. He's the pawn of the villain.
And like, on top of that, he's so overpowered and he's not even interesting.
Yeah.
The most interesting part of him is the fact that Rumpelstiltskin is his father and Belle is
He's
his
very
mother.
Self-righteous, which I guess makes sense
for not being raised by Rumpel is crazy.
Right?
Still, like, he wasn't even raised by him, and he's still self-righteous.
Well, some things are just stronger than the way you were raised.
He inherited it.
It's nature versus nurture, dear.
Apparently, his nature is to be. Yeah.
I will say for the I don't have much else in this episode, so we can move on. But
that's fine.
One thing I have from the proposal scene is, I don't remember what line it is, but it's I think it's before he proposes, because she's holding up the ring, and the shot we have in the bloopers is over his shoulder. Is Jen is deep in the very emotional moment. She's got the tears in her eyes. Cut to Colin bursting into a massive coughing fit. And she just gets jumped back. He's like, I've been holding that one in for ages. I'm so sorry. And so
it'd be like that sometimes.
You're trying to have this deep emotional moment and your throat has other ideas.
I'm using that.
I mean, I said it on purpose.
I love you.
That wasn't. I mean, I had the thought. I was like, nope, that's what that means. I'm going to say it anyway. I do.
That was so good.
In addition to that, I also have Swan It's Bad Form to open a man's sea chest without his permission. As well.
It sounds dirty.
As well as Queenie. We ask nicely before we bite people.
Do we?
So we ask nicely. We get consent. So I always say, don't bite unless you ask.
Oops.
So before I have my last little rant of this, Katie, what did you rate Ill Boding Patterns?
I gave it 7s across the board. So it's a 21. I felt bad for rating any lower. I think just because I did actually enjoy Robin and Zelena in this. So points to them. And I love Regina regardless, but which is really sad, because you would think an engagement episode would be like, oh, this is great. Finally, this is happening. It was the most lackluster fucking engagement I've ever fucking seen.
No, I'm with you there.
All right, give it to me.
You asked nicely. I gave it a 5 for plot because it's setting up stuff we need for the Black Fairy. It's setting up that stuff. It's setting up, but that's all it's really doing. it's setting up also like what we need for next week's episode. So it does do some stuff. I still hate it. I've at least when
Of
it comes to Once
course.
Upon a Time, I think at this point, I think I learned after Dark Waters, I'm gonna stop being nice if I actively dislike it. Because
As you should.
like this is our podcast, we do what we want. And this so very rarely happens.
Yeah.
So I guess a 2 for character.
Oh!
I like what goes on with Robin and Regina and Zelina, and that is about it. And I will go more into like in my extra
Damn.
of why that in my last little bit. You want to know my personal score?
Oh my god, I'm scared.
We have found yet another 0.
Holy
This
shit.
episode gets a 7.
This like legitimately makes me feel like I did not rate this correctly, but I feel like that's
Well,
okay
to be
right now
fair,
to feel
okay,
that way.
your first time watch. Now you know. You can go back in later. But to be fair, both of our
Yeah.
scores had 7s.
Lauren.
But
So this rate, it's just 4 7s.
I mean, yeah, kinda, because yeah, it's yeah, altogether we gave it 28 out of 60. But
That's
well, because this is my
insane.
lowest
Below
rated
half.
episode by almost half. Before this, my lowest rated, and this is the lowest rated episode, and this beat out an episode that didn't have any zeros in it. My lowest rated episodes before this all had 12s. One was 3-7 Dark Hollow. That was a 5 for character, a 7 for plot,
Ugh.
and a 0 for personal.
Sorry, that name reminds me of the
I know.
episode, and I'm just like,
Dark Waters,
no.
which was the one that I changed while we were recording, that was the 6 for character and plot, and
Yeah.
the 0 for personal. And then the other lowest rated was also from season 6. That was 609 Changelings. That got a 5 for character, a 6 for plot, and a 1 for personal. Those all gave them 12s. This has 7 because I hated it. But why this got an extra low character score is because this is the thing that I fucking hate. Which it is Rumpel admitting to Belle, and even her being the one to initiate this, of, you did the dark thing so our son didn't have to. And she forgives him, even though she keeps asking him to stop doing the dark shit. Like, he found a loophole. He can do the dark stuff he wants to do in the name of saving Gideon. She's okay with that. Even though before she really wasn't.
I didn't realize this before.
Like, she literally says, you darkened your soul so he didn't have to. Or so he didn't go to a place he can't come back from, whatever the phrasing is. She's the one that initiated that conversation. And it's okay with her. And I hate it. That's why this gets a 7.
So close.
That's why this gets a 7.
We're so close to finishing this show.
Next week's episode, I do hope makes up for it. I really do. I can tell you, so next week's episode is going to have all of this lovely Regina double stuff. The week after is going to have Drunk Snow.
Hell yes.
She gets into a darts match, but using daggers with a bunch of Vikings. And she wins because she's good at it. So there you go. That's
not the hugest, like, I'm not like a huge fan of Snow, but I'll take
I mean, there's something there is, it's very entertaining what they do with Drunk Snow. Like, Ginny clearly just,
I'm sure.
Like, and we see in some of the bloopers, like, Ginny was just having fun. As she probably needed with a toddler and a small and an infant. She needed a fun day at work. So you have that to look forward to, and you have a lot of double Regina next week.
Thank fuck.
Next week's episode will be fun, but might also make you cry. It might.
Haven't I cried enough already?
It sometimes makes me cry. It just depends on like my mood that week. So we'll see.
I'll be at the end of my cycle next week.
Mine's going right now, so we'll see what happens.
I might cry then. Although I usually cry more the week before than the week during.
I just cry a lot.
I mean, what's your sign again?
Scorpio.
That's fine.
I never get that. It's always like whenever anyone talks about it's never the overly emotional like that. It's always overly emotional in that
Mhm.
we're always angry and we're always horny. And in my experience, yeah, pretty much.
I was about to say, hold on a second. I know you well enough. Look, what didn't I just make a joke recently that I'm like, yep, I'm feeding into my sign right now because I overworked myself to the point of walking pneumonia.
Yes. You want
Oops.
to talk about overly emotional? Regina's a Pisces.
That explains so much. Thank you all for listening. Join us next time when we discuss Bob's Burgers Season 12, Episode 17, Spider House Rules, and Episode 18, Clear and Present Ginger. Don't forget to like, rate, and follow the podcast wherever you listen so you can be notified every time we publish a new episode. Follow us at OBDYK_pod on Instagram and Blue Sky. And if you'd like to join our Patreon, you can find the link with more details in our show notes.
This has been an episode of Okay, But Did You Know? A TV and media podcast. It was hosted by Lauren and Katie and edited by Lauren.